Bob Seeley.
Mr Deputy Speaker, I'm going to speak to Amendments 1 and 2. If I've got time, I'll get in Amendment 9, but I'll speak for no more than 5 minutes. But just by way of an overall approach, I mean, I hear what people say about the importance of renewables, but it's not renewables or nuclear. Frankly, if the world is going to have any chance of meeting its carbon targets, it's not either or, it's and. And I'm afraid to say, when you see the environmental, energy and security disaster that is Germany's imbecilic energy policy caused by the shutting of nuclear, the dependence on Russian gas and lignite coal, the dirtiest form of energy production known to humanity. Gladly.
I'm not speaking on behalf of Germany, because Germany is, of course, in a very different position to Britain. It is more or less landlocked. It doesn't have sea. It doesn't have wind in the same way. Britain has got a massive opportunity to invest in new renewable energy that no other country has, apart from, for example, Greece, and they're doing that.
And I think my German relatives would confirm that they have wind in Germany. And the Baltic Sea. Thank you very much indeed. Including reports from the UN and others, there is no reputable case that disagrees that if we are to meet zero carbon at some point in a realistic, next 20, 30, 40 years, whether we like it or not, nuclear is going to play an increasingly significant element of that. It is a very low form of carbon energy, no greenhouse gas. I will make some progress and then I will give way again. And I think it is important to take that on board. When it comes to foreign ownership and foreign funding, would I start from here? No. I'm uncomfortable about the idea that we would ever want to build an untried, untested Chinese nuclear reactor in this country, especially one that has not been built anywhere else, to say nothing of the geopolitical ramifications of that. I'm not hugely happy that we have Chinese funding in place at the moment. But I understand that actually the purpose at the moment and the critical point is that we need a sense of momentum to make progress on this issue. So in a perfect world, we would not be starting from here. I'll give way now if you'd like to come in.
I thank him for giving way. He was talking earlier there about the importance of nuclear to get to net zero, but the UK government's actually committed to decarbonisation in the electricity grid by 2035. So there's no way on earth, if we're going to rely on nuclear, that can actually fully decarbonise the grid. It's other things that are needed. It's carbon capture and storage, it's green hydrogen.
Again, he's making a perfectly sensible point, but I think his argument is frankly a bit of a cop-out, that we can do it all with renewables. We're not. I want tidal energy for the Solent and for the Isle of Wight as much as he does for the west of Scotland. But the idea that renewables is going to solve our problems, especially, as the right honourable gentleman from Woking says, when there is no wind, it is a difficult argument to sustain. Anyway, moving back to Amendments 1 and 2, if I may, Mr Deputy Speaker, I do think it is perfectly sensible for the government to make this point, as the Minister did when we were in conversation last week, and I thank him for his time, that we need foreign institutional funding, especially from friendly states, the United States, Australia, Canada, European Union as well, into and a RAB system to make the investment in nuclear, which is expensive, which we need for the long term. This is something that we need to be doing. And frankly, Mr Deputy Speaker, we need to be getting on with this. And I would just say, having argued to those two amendments, we've had 2 decades of incredibly poor leadership on energy supply. And the Honourable Lady from Warrington North spoke very eloquently about the attractions of nuclear industry. The point she missed out, unfortunately, was that actually nuclear was killed as an investment discussion early on in the new Labour years. And unfortunately, the coalition carried on that because we were effectively appeasing a really rather extreme green lobby in our country. And we are coming to this very late because, as my right honourable Fred says, in a decade's time, we are now going to lose 13 or 12 out of the 13 nuclear reactors that we have. So we are going to go backwards when it comes to producing low carbon, low greenhouse emission energy, even if more renewables will come on stream, which I'm hoping they will do. So we need to get on with this. So are we in a perfect position with Chinese funding? No. Do I want to see a Chinese nuclear reactor in this country? Absolutely not. Do I want to see Rolls-Royce nuclear reactors, which I hope will be the Rolls-Royce solution in all senses of the word? Absolutely, and we need to get cracking, because that will lower the price, and it's British technology, and we're keeping those high-quality jobs. But we need to get moving, and so on that principle, I oppose these amendments. I'm happy with where we are with the government at the moment, but let's just crack on, get this done, get another bill for another nuclear plant this side of an election, and then get in place the laws and the bills that we need for modular nuclear to come on stream. Thank you.